I got to work with right alongside with Tony Robbins for over 15 years. And we did something that was very unique and I've worked for the largest coaching companies on the planet, some other huge, massive corporations, and none of them planned at a high level in terms of like their business planning or even their life planning or any of their visions. I noticed that there's a huge need for solopreneurs and for small businesses and even for medium-sized businesses. They don't know how to plan properly. First and foremost, we're going to want to make sure that the language and the outcome that you're going after is crystal clear. It's really getting connected to the purpose and the why behind what you're doing. And there's these 7 triggers. There's these 7 things that can happen that are outside of our control that can jack everything up. But if we can hedge against it, this is part of how we can guarantee our success. The vision, the strategy, the how, the why, and then being able to regurgitate it in simplest forms so that your team will follow in suit.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nicky Ballou, and boy, we got another exciting episode lined up for you today. I'm bringing back a repeat guest. He is amazing. He's awesome. He is the nephew of the one, the only, the legendary Marc Von Musser. I am speaking, of course, of none other than his epicness, his legendariness, Brook Bishop. Welcome to the show, Brook.
Dude, I think you're a hype man in another life.
Good to have you here, man.
Good. Stoked to be here.
You know, brother, you and I are developing a really powerful friendship and business relationship, which is why I'm super excited to have you here, because I know you're doing something to really help folks have 2024 be guaranteed to be better than 2023. So let's get right into it. Why is that important to you? Why do you believe people's 2023 wasn't as great as it could have been? And what are you doing about it?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because we had a very unique vantage point over the course of time. So for those that don't know, I got to work with right alongside with Tony Robbins for over 15 years. And we did something that was very unique and I've worked for the largest coaching companies on the planet, some other huge, massive corporations, and none of them planned at a high level in terms of like their business planning or even their life planning or any of their visions. It was usually, here's our revenue target. Yeah, let's go hit that. And that was pretty much it. And with working with Tony, he was the master planner. And so we had this whole strategy, and it usually took us 3 months of digging in and getting really clear on what it was that we wanted to accomplish as a business and how we wanted to play. And then we'd have to present it to him, and he would basically poke holes in it for 2 days and challenge us to really see, is that what we wanted? And did we have a really clear plan and path of how we were going to guarantee him the successes in that next year? And so now they've been out of Tony's ranks for these last couple of years. I noticed that there's a huge need for solopreneurs and for small businesses and even for medium-sized businesses. They don't know how to plan properly for their business. And so we said, screw it. Let's put together a 2-day workshop. We'll give everybody the chunks. We'll teach them how to walk through it. We'll lock them in a room, and everyone can benefit from everybody else's plans, and they can lean in on, what did you do? How did you get there? So there's a mastermind component to it, but it really is 2 days to work on your business before the holidays are deeper rooted in by the end of December. And instead of waiting till the new year hits and then you go, hey, here's gonna be my plan, we're booking it for the first week of December. Everyone's flying into Colorado. We also have people that can join virtually, but it's 2 days deep dive to guarantee your success in your business in the year ahead.
2 days deep dive to guarantee your success in your business for the year ahead. I like it. And I'll tell you something. What you say makes perfect sense. Failure to plan is planning to fail, right? You've heard that. I've heard that. And it's true. And the truth of the matter is most people don't really plan. They set goals, but they don't have an action plan to make their goals come alive. Now, I was fortunate that I worked with a fellow named Raymond Aaron back in the day who showed me some good planning strategies, and I've used those. But I'm thinking there's a way to do this at a whole new level. It sounds like what you're creating is about getting super granular on exactly the steps you need to take with timelines, with a no excuse blueprint for success. That's what I'm hearing. Am I hearing correctly?
Spot on. And one of the things that's really interesting, because most people they don't do the reflective piece. And so a big part of day one, kind of letting the cat out of the bag, is looking at the year in the rearview mirror to go, what do we do? Where do we crush it? Where do we kick ass? Where do we struggle? What were the things that we learned in the course of this year? What are the things we can repeat or optimize and do better? And we actually give everybody a strategic step-by-step. So there's a 5-step system where people can like geometrically catapult their revenue. And so it gives everyone a process. So not only do they have the vision, do they have their why, do they have their rocks, and do they like have it laid out in a strategic manner, but then they'll also have a tool that forever moving forward, they or with their team can sit down, lay out these 5 pieces and just ask questions as they go through. So they'll know how to catapult year after year after year.
I like the phrase geometric progression. It always makes me feel good when I hear it. Okay, geometric progression.
Sounds smart.
Geometric progression, brother. That's where it's at. So, Brook, let's do this. Let's do a 5-minute kind of teaser for people, and we'll use me as the guinea pig. So I'm planning 2024, and a big part of 2024 is we're looking to do something called Mission 40. So what's Mission 40, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Mission 40 is Teresa and I's mission that we are stoking and teaming up with your uncle, the one, the only, the legendary Marc Von Musser, to find 40 individuals who are good, heart-driven, freedom-loving, freedom-minded people that are looking to take their business to a new level, but they want to do it in an ethical way. And what we want to do is we want to help these people kick off their efforts with a 90-day sprint to generate 90K. And from there, we want those 40 people then to go into our next program, which is our 3-day thought leader immersion that shows them how to take all that expertise of theirs and turn it into thought leadership. And then from there, we want to take at least 75% of them into a year-long program called eCircle Academy, where we are going to help those people over the course of a year set themselves up to add anywhere from 6 to 8 figures to their income over a 3-year period. That's kind of our kind of Mission 40. And the way we've mapped it out for us, if we do Mission 40 and we just hit those numbers, there'll be $2 million in revenue that'll come into the business, which will be wonderful for the 3 of us. It'll be wonderful for the people we're helping as well. So give me a 5-minute teaser on what you would do with me that just will get everybody salivating.
Okay, beautiful. So first off, you're way ahead of the curve compared to most. So the way you even framed it up and chunked it out is already like you're light years ahead of the masses. But what I would say with regards to how we would play things with you in that pond, first and foremost, we're going to want to make sure that the language and the outcome that you're going after is crystal clear. It's got to have the deadline tied to it. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure every single month backing into it, you know exactly how many leads you need to have. You're going to need to know where they're going to come from and how you're going to generate them. You're going to need to know how many engagements and how many interactions you need to have in order to get there, what your conversion rates are going to need to be, what your follow-up process or your referral strategies are going to be. So it's the backing into the outcome. That's where most people are good at going, I'm going to hit this destination. I'm going to get to the moon. It's backing into it. So where we're going to really break down those pieces, not just strategically. This is the big one. This is where most people trip up. It's the why. It's really getting connected to the purpose and the why behind what you're doing, because that's where most people will lose steam, right? It's why most people's New Year's resolutions fall off a cliff. They have this big outcome. They start in January. By February, it's like back to old if they make it that far, right? So it's digging into the strategic piece, getting into the purpose and the why that's there. But where again, the other part of what we like to do is we don't want to just have one path with one thread. This is where I'll call them mega achievers, where they struggle. Mega achievers, they want one proven path without any hiccups, without any speed bumps, without any, rickety bridges. They want to know that if I go down this lane, it's absolutely going to get me to where I want to be. And I don't want any bumps. And if there's going to be any bumps, I'm not even going to go down that lane. So our strategy is, okay, great. If plan A doesn't work or you hit bumps, do you have a plan B? If plan B doesn't work, do you have a plan C? If plan C isn't working, do you have a plan D? Because there's another piece of this whole bad boy that most people fail to look at, and especially in the coaching space, because we're all eternal optimists. So we like to look at the opportunity or the good, amazing things that are sitting in front of us. So we also take everybody to the dark side. Is another way of looking at it. So there's what's called the 7 triggers of a crisis. And there's these 7 triggers. There's these 7 things that can happen that are outside of our control that can jack everything up. But if we can hedge against it, this is part of how we can guarantee our success. So the first part is, do we have clarity in what the destination and the vision is? Based on your example, you're very clear. 40 people. If we hit 40 people, based on our back end numbers, we're going to get to X, Y, and Z. That's going to generate 2 million. We all win. Everybody in our program wins. We change the world, right? Clarity. The second piece of that is, okay, great. What are the metrics by month that you have to hit so you can track every single day, every single week, every single month? You're either ahead or you're behind or you're on point. And then the third piece of that is the strategic way in which you're going to get there, right? So knowing the math. So every month you're very clear. We have to generate this many leads, and here are the 10 ways we're going to do it. And we're going to come up with 10 extra ways to guarantee that we hit our metrics, right? And then again, having it in a plan that's, and this is another really important piece for anyone. If you're a solopreneur, if you have a small team, where another spot where the wheels fall off is our ability to communicate to the other people on our team. If we can't communicate it cleanly, it ain't going to happen. So part of it's getting the vision, the purpose, the strategy, but then being able to articulate it and communicate it to the people who are going to help you on that journey. That's really the paramount piece from front to back of the vision, the strategy, the how, the why, and then being able to regurgitate it in simplest forms so that your team will follow in suit.
I love it. I love it. This sounds absolutely amazing. Folks, Brook Bishop is the real deal. This program is amazing. 2024 guaranteed is going to set you up for victory. Brook, it's an honor to have you here, man. And I really appreciate you, and God bless you. Thank you for coming and sharing this with the people that follow our show. And thanks for being willing to include me in what you do. I love partnering with incredible people like you and your Uncle Marc. It's just, I got to pinch myself. I feel like I'm doing it, you know. It's just great.
I appreciate you for sharing the message and getting this out there. I know there's a lot of light warrior world changers that they want more people. They want to be able to help transform more lives. They want to make a deeper, bigger impact. And if they just had that plan, if they just had those pieces, and if they just had that roadmap, that's their own roadmap to transform and reach those people in that way, and had that fire behind them. So I know that that's who your world and your audience is. And dude, I'm just grateful that you're helping us spread the word and reach more people, so we can then in turn reach more people.
You bet, pal. God bless you, man. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye. That wraps up another exciting thought leader nugget. If you want to find out more about the one and only Brook Bishop, go to empirepartners.io. Just go mess around on the site and find out more about Brook and what he's up to generally. Make sure you do that. If this speaks to you, if you know you need to create a plan, then go sign up for the program. And if you got friends that you think will benefit from it, share it with them as well. Until next time, goodbye.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.